Hi everybody, this is the Baseball HUD, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the HUD, and welcome back to the Baseball HUD. Hope you like this video and subscribe. And let me know what you think about it. I need you to do me a favor. This is a very important thing. We're all Mets fans here. And I'm very grateful and thankful that you spent the last 3 years watching my channel, giving this little channel a chance. I need you to do a little bit more for me. Right now we're over 4,000 subscribers. I'd like to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That is a goal that I have for this channel. If you will. If you're watching this channel, you're a regular viewer of the channel, I need you to watch the entirety of a video. Because what that does is it puts the video out there and YouTube recommends it to other Mets fans, to other baseball fans. Also need you to also share it. So if you're in a different chat, or if you're in a different platform like Facebook or Reddit, I don't think anybody, does anybody use Reddit anymore, or an X-Twitter, or whatever they want to call Twitter these days, I guess they call it X now. Post it and share it. And if you have a friend that's a Mets fan or a family member, send it to them and tell them you got to follow this guy's channel. This guy is great. And he has great takes and he cares about the Mets. I mentioned this in a lot of videos, I'm not associated with anybody with the team. I'm not associated with the big media. I'm not associated with CBS Sports. I'm not associated with Barstool. The Bleacher Report I'm not involved with. I'm not associated with John Boy. I'm not associated with anyone that does business with New York Mets. I just do my thing here. I'm just a Mets fan like you. All I want the Mets to do is to win, win, win. That's all I care about. And that's all you care about. You want to subscribe to the channel. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. So I'm going to talk about in this video David Stearns, the aforementioned possible new president of baseball operations. They will not make that official until after the season. So we got about 15 games left, 2 weeks left of this season. Thank God this monkey crap is almost over. But David Stearns is going to be coming in here. He's got a pretty big organization to run. He has a general manager in place. He currently has a manager in place. I believe the manager will probably resign or probably be leaving. That's Buck Showalter. But he has a general manager in place in Billy Epler. But he has, and this is David Stearns, he has a lot of work to do. I'm going to read you parts of some of this article from Rising Apple. They should have a whole bunch of different things. I'll just go through it a little bit. What they have suggested, the Mets need to focus on developing pitchers. That's true. I mean, we have not seen anything of any note for a long time here. Not since the 2015 team have they developed the kind of pitching that gets the team to a World Series. They've had to go through a lot of veteran players, a lot of veteran pitchers to sort of get us to this point. Obviously, the two veteran pitchers that they signed this offseason and last offseason did not perform up to capability. We know just recently on Thursday announced that the Rangers' Max Scherzer is out for the season. So the Mets kind of didn't do a great job with the pitching. They do not have really great pitching in the organization that they've developed. The two best pitchers they've developed, they're in the major leagues right now, are Tyler McGill and David Peterson. They've been up and down, up and down, up and down. That's not going to cut it. They brought up Grant Hardaway, who's a reliever. His biggest issue is walks. We know that with the Mets, the two biggest issues we've had to deal with since 2020 is there have been a lot of walks with this pitching staff and a lot of home runs. That is a major problem and a major sign of not being successful in the major leagues. So the Mets have to do a better job of pitching and developing pitchers like they've done with the Brewers. Now, with good starting pitchers in your system, a lot of those guys aren't going to be pitching every fifth day. A lot of them are going to go in the bullpen. So that's why it's important that you develop good starting pitching. Now, they have some pitchers that are in their system. Guys we're going to start talking a lot more about. Mike Vassell, Christian Scott, Tyler Stewart, Blade Tidwell in particular, who might be the best of the group. There's not real one elite guy unless a guy takes a major step forward, which is a possibility with pitching. Pitchers tend to come from out of nowhere and develop all of a sudden. And that's got to be one of the big things that David Stearns is able to just make better with the Mets. Now, they basically have had to do what the other teams have done, and that's create a pitching lab. That pitching lab in St. Lucie has now been opened. We'll see if some of these young guys are able to take a major step forward. David Stearns was very knowledgeable about pitching labs, and he brought that pitching lab philosophy from Houston to Milwaukee. He's probably going to bring in a lot of his knowledge here with the Mets. And that's going to be one of the things they're going to need to do. The next thing that this article suggests, I'll get to this in a moment, but one of the things that this team needs, and really had not had really since 2017, is the stability at the top of the front office. The Mets have had several different general managers since Sandy Alderson basically stepped down in 2017. We had Sandy, then we had Brody Van Wagenen, then we had Jared Porter, who got fired because he was doing the thing. You know, he was texting women all the time. And then we had Zach Scott, who was a complete disaster, traded a good portion of the Mets farm system away. And then we had Billy Epler here for the last 2 years, and it's been up and down. They've had he had a first great year and a not so great year. He did not have a good trading deadline last year. So the Mets need to get more stability out of this front office in particular. And we also know they've had a lot of instability with the managers too since 2017. Since Terry Collins retired, they've had Mickey Callaway. Remember Mickey? He also texting these women. Then we had Carlos Beltran. He got skadooshed within 6 weeks of the Wilpons finding out they lied to them. Then we got Luis Rojas, who had no pulse in the dugout, and now we've had Buck Showalter. So we've had Mickey, Terry, Mickey, Carlos, Luis Rojas, and now Buck. That's 5 managers in the last 6 years. That is not a stable situation with the manager either. So we're gonna have like a 6th manager in the last 6 years, I would think. That's a major problem, folks, to have any kind of sustainability of success. And you've seen their records. It's been up, down, up, down, up, down. They've had 2 good years in the last 6 years. That's 2019 and 22. So we've only had 2 good years since 2017. That is not great. But the article suggests that they do a better job of building a stable coaching staff. But if you bring in a manager that you know is going to be there on a regular basis, you'll have that stability along the way. What's the third thing they suggest here? Identify and preserve the best talent within the Mets organization. Fundamental aspect of an organization's sustainability is the ability to identify, develop, and retain talent from within. Wasn't that the truth? In this area, the Mets have failed in a fundamental point that has harmed its sustainability. The Mets have been an organization with a good team of scouts capable of identifying talent with the ability to develop on their way through the minor league system. However, due to the team's inability to efficiently develop talent, these prospects tend to fall short or are traded for a lesser return. Now, they put out a couple of things. We had the Joey Lucchesi trade. Now, Lucchesi has pitched well in the 2 seasons he's pitched for the Mets, but he has been hurt. He has pitched really well this year when they've used him. He's had 7 starts with a little under 30 innings. He's pitched really, really well. But in that trade, it was a 3-way trade with the Padres and with the Pirates. And the Pirates got a catching prospect named Andy Rodriguez, who's their catcher there. He's catching. And he is a big prospect. I didn't know about him. So you have to do a better job. David Stearns has to do a better job of identifying the prospects within the Mets farm system. And honestly, we know about the Javi Baez trade, where they received Trevor Williams and they traded Pete Crow Armstrong. Now, Crow Armstrong just made his major league debut. Now, there are issues about whether he's going to hit, but he's their best prospect, and he's hitting the minor leagues. And he wasn't in the minor league system that long before Zach Scott decided to move him at the trade deadline 2 years ago. So the Mets have to find a way to identify the guys that they want to keep in the farm system that will help them develop in the majors, and guys that they can trade away. So that is very important, is to know who you're going to keep and who you're not going to keep. Now finally, the stability of this team has been an issue. So that stability hopefully comes from David Stearns. Hopefully he's able to bring that over the next 5 years. And he's got a massive contract. I was reading that they're going to give him $10 million over the next... It's going to be a $50 million contract as the new president of baseball operations. So he's got to find a way to do a good job of bringing stability to this organization. and to have smart decision making, have smart decision making with the manager, whoever that next manager is going to be, the smart decision making in terms of what players are going to get moved, who's going to get signed long term, and where the team has needs, where they're going to need to get them. How do they identify certain players they want to have into this clubhouse and into this culture that they're trying to build now? Okay, the Mets have had, like I said, the biggest problem, and I've said this in the start of this video, has been the stability of this organization. Okay? David Stearns, that's the number one thing he has to bring here, is stability. And to have a vibrancy to the front office that's not going to be sitting on their hands for 3-4 years like that's had with Sandy Alderson. Sandy Alderson sat on his hands for 4 years until 2015 when the team started to get good through the minor league system. That's when he decided to make some moves. We need a guy that's going to know when to hold him, know when to hold him and know when to fold him. He needs to know when he needs to make a move and when he knows not to make a move. And hopefully David Stearns, he's done a good job in Milwaukee. It's going to be interesting to see how he's able to develop the Mets the way he developed in Milwaukee with the extra money that he's going to have available to him. But we'll see. But again, thank you for watching my channel for all these years. Please get me to 5,000 subs. That is a big goal for this channel. Get to 5,000 subs by December 31st. I think you can help me. I think you've helped me enormously so far over the last few years. But this channel is woefully undersubbed. I need your help. So if you could do the little things for me, I would appreciate it greatly. There'll be plenty of videos. I have plans coming into the fall. We're going to do live streams again. We're going to have a better internet connection to where I'm not like zoning out and you're sitting there and I'm frozen. You don't want to watch that. I know you don't want to watch that. So I want you to be able to enjoy the live streams, and I want to be able to do them and provide them for you. So that's it. That's the story. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.